Hi everyone, here I'm going to show you how I go about painting this shiny chilli in watercolour. I work from a reference photograph I took myself. The first thing is I start with a detailed outline drawing. I use my pencil lightly so it won't be visible through my paint, and I map out the outline edges of all the areas of shine. To do this, you need to tune in to looking at these shapes and how they relate to each other. I try to get them really accurate as this helps so much when I'm looking back and forth between my reference photo and my painting as I do it. It helps me stay in a flow. Then I look to match the lightest tones within each of the different hue or colour areas of the chilli. My paint is really watery for this stage. I only leave the very lightest areas of shine without any paint at all, as they will then stay as white as the paper. Once that layer is really dry, I now look to work with my paint much thicker to match the darkest tones within the chilli. I change my hues or colours to match the area that I'm working on. I pay close attention to the transitions between the different shapes of colour, in particular where the dark red of the chilli meets the much paler hues in the highlight areas. And I use my small brush to try to replicate the often feathered edges to these shapes that I see. Because tone is relative, now that I've worked on the darkest tones, I can see that many of my lighter tones need another layer on them to darken them more. I apply this once I'm sure that the layer I've just worked on is dry, so that I don't get muddying or the colours mixing and bleeding on the paper. So you can see that even within the areas of highlight or shine, there's quite a lot of variation in terms of hue and tone, so we've got to try and replicate that. And once again, with those areas now darker, I can see that my darkest tones actually need to be taken still darker, so I can add another layer onto those parts. Now I can concentrate on the transitions between those highlights and the red of the chilli, making sure that I capture all of those scratchy little details there so that the texture looks right. And with the dark green top of the chilli in place now, as well as those transitions worked on, I can now see that I need to just pick out a few more of the darker parts of the red chilli itself to make sure that they're as dark as they need to be. And we're there, a 3D looking shiny chilli in watercolour. If you'd like to see a real-time step-by-step tutorial of this chilli, including instructions on what colours and brushes to use, it's available as part of my online school. If you've enjoyed this tip video, please visit watercolorswithwow.com for information on the materials I recommend, more tip videos, my advice blog, and lots more. Thanks for watching.